Well met, lords and ladies. Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode. Oh me, oh my. We have arrived here at last. And by here, I don't mean the fact that my camera seems to be going even slower than normal. That's, gotta sort that out. No, I mean, we're actually going to watch the beginning of Disco Pops. And this is quite the occasion because I've watched a lot of Disco Pops in the past, like it says in the description. But the difference is that that was all to do with a new episode coming out, people asking me to watch the new seasonal update, or it had something to do with the thing that I was also watching, like Kingdom Defenders and stuff. So yeah, but it meant that because I was waiting to catch up in Jazz Pops, that I actually was going to wait, and I waited for a long time before actually going back to the origin of these characters that have confused me oh so much, oh so many times. But of course, I've been looking at the timeline playlists, both the ones by Jonny and Eli, the two parties interested in this, which incidentally, both of whom are actually here. Jonny's got work, so he might be away for the first 30 minutes or so, but that's fine. Glad that you're both here. Of course, we also have Fox and Josh with a quick update about The Guardians, which has come out. I assume all 4 episodes sometime down the line. I mean, since the episodes eventually got longer, I'm not sure whether or not I'd be watching all 4 of them in one video anymore, but that's a good thought. I know I do it for Fallen Angels, but that became sort of a traditional format. I'm not entirely sure. Yes. But get ready for two very short episodes. That is perfectly fine. Again, bunch them all up towards the beginning. We'll see. I'm also getting DMs from people, as I thought, because I knew this was gonna, garner a few guests. And of course, what better way to elongate a stream than with our most running time prolonging guest, Aiden DeBest.
Ha!
You timed that connection perfectly to my segue into talking to you. That was amazing.
Yes.
So yeah, Aiden, you have, of course, I have shown you the first episode of Super Pops, the Totally TV series. I think you've been on a couple of the Gacha ones in the past. But yeah, we're starting from one of the most iconic in this particular, I guess, spin-off universe that has been created.
Yes.
So yeah, in case you're here for, oh wait, this is the one that has ties to Miraculous. So yeah, good to have you on board as well for that. Which reminds me, I need to get the rest of Wonder Gacha, because that video seemed to perform relatively well, so got to get those other ones out. Anywho, let's actually go ahead, set up the format properly, and without further ado, on with the review. I'm so excited for our sleepover. We look like we're from Hogwarts. So are we. Thank you for inviting us, Courtney. Who's the we in this situation? Is it Kim and Jen, who are both on like the other side?
Maybe
cinematically that seems to make the most sense for me.
Yeah, but I think the reason that line is there is like everyone else is exciting. Although honestly, I kind of think this is clunky exposition.
Hey, it could be the royal we in this instance, because some of these characters are princesses, but I can't remember if that was revealed here or not, because again, I have future knowledge. But yeah, as far as the exposition goes, yeah, it is coming to like, oh yeah, finding us this sleepover that is at your house. Thank you for establishing that. Okay, moving on. Could have been worse, but could have been better.
Okay, so designs. Okay, so
yes.
these designs.
By the way, Emily's back, incidentally. just so Johnny knows.
Yeah. So these designs aren't the worst designs I have seen, but they're kind of repetitive. Keep in mind well, Jacob died. Should I wait for him to get back, or should I just say my gripes with the designs? I don't know. God damn it, I'm alone. Oh,
sorry, I was here the whole time. Getting updates.
Okay, so back to this. So there's only three front hair used, like 3 types of front hair used. So
that's better than as usual.
It makes it still kind of repetitive. The fact that we only have we have 2 girls have the same front hair, 2 girls have the same front hair, and 1 girl has a completely unique front hair. Honestly, if you were designing them, I would have made them all have unique front hairs and not repeat too much.
To play devil's advocate for a second, sorry to interrupt you there. It does make sense in universe for, a couple of these characters who are friends to mimic each other's hairstyles just a little bit. And I will say also, it's better than having 0 frontal hair, like in other series that were done by Jonny later than this, actually.
Look, Jacob, I'm not allowing excuses. I just think...
Okay.
There's no in-universe reason why, I assume at least. I could be wrong, but I'm assuming that the creator just liked certain front hair, so it's like, okay, I'm going to repeat them. It's just like, don't repeat front hairs. It gets extremely repetitive if multiple characters on screen at the same time have the same front hair. They all have the same eye shape, different eye colors, which is an improvement from everyone having brown eyes.
And from King of Defenders.
But them all having the same eye shape... Yeah, no, please. Vary your eye shape up.
There's a thing in art called same face syndrome, which usually applies to drawing because people tend to draw faces identical just by nature until they train themselves not to. In Gacha, it's occasionally hard to deviate from that just because obviously all the faces are from the same custom tools. So, unless you're very careful about it, that is always going to be a risk. So having changes from eyeshadows and all those other details mentioned definitely does help, and also not having all of them have the same default resting facial expression like it seems to be that they all have right here, except for Courtney, who is currently talking.
Yeah, and then I like the variety in skin tones. Since there's a decent variety here, it at least differentiates the characters slightly more. Again, these designs are more different than some of the other pop series I see, where it looks like the characters barely change designs. So it looks like there was more effort into differentiating each character between the skin tone, hair color, eye color, stuff like that. But at the same time, there should have been more factors put in to differentiate them. And also, why are they all wearing I'm guessing that's a school uniform. I could be wrong about that. But why are they all wearing a school uniform
I would imagine because it's a school uniform. I would imagine, again, in universe, maybe they just came directly from school and they all end up at their houses rather than going back home to get their stuff first. That's actually a format that my best friend in Spain and I used to do quite a lot. In fact, he would frequently invite himself over to my house over on the weekends.
Yeah, but you're not going to sleep in your school uniform, so you have to go.
They'd have a change of clothes after this point, but I imagine they just arrived.
Yeah, but you'd have to go home at one point to get oh, they're at an academy, so I don't know if it's like a boarding school or something like that. But
if they were at a boarding school, they wouldn't have a sleepover.
They would have to leave at one point to go to their homes to get a change of clothes. So they probably should have started off in unique outfits, assuming they already changed out their school uniforms.
They just all borrow Courtney's outfits.
Dang. I mean, to be fair, Gacha characters don't really have different body types.
No, they have different heights.
Everyone's pretty much a singular body type. So I mean, I guess beside the height variation, but So I
Yeah, of course.
guess.
Some people might have to, tuck the shirt in or something, but
Oh,
that's
also that's
whatever.
another thing. I don't know if there's any height differentiators, but I think everyone's on height 1.
Probably, yeah.
Because everyone's feet are in different positions, so they've been moved around the screen. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everyone's on height 1. So make sure you have varied heights, so everyone's not the same height. Because that's something Emily does with some of her background characters, which kind of annoys me. Like when Emily did a bunch of Mean Girl background characters, she never adjusted the height scale, so they're all on height 1. So if you ever use one of Emily's background characters, Jacob, just be aware they're on height 1, so you may want to adjust it and make them slightly shorter. Just
I
slightly
have actually done
shorter.
that in the past, yeah.
Yeah, because
In fact, that's actually a frequent problem in the Mutant Girl that I need to address at some point, because there have been a few examples of other scenes in the past, like for example, the one that I think it was Monet that did this one for Through Her Eyes episode 2, when Agatha was
being tall.
with Evan. Yeah, exactly. Agatha at 7 years old was taller than herself at 14 in that one scene alone, which
Yeah.
which was bizarre. Then again, the story of a character, who ends up being so tall by age 7 that
Jacob, you froze.
she seems so much older. Yeah, it's trying to restore the connection. Hold on.
So yeah.
Okay, looks like it's back.
Those are my thoughts on the designs overall. The school uniform's decent, but yeah.
Okay, right. So what I was getting at, yeah, the idea of having a character who is so tall by age 7 that the children's clothing of like her own age looks odd on her is actually an interesting concept. It just didn't apply to Agatha. Yeah. Okay. And also, people have been talking a lot about this stuff, but people have been responding to the things that have been said in the chat here. One of those things was talking about the academy. So they are indeed from an academy, which makes sense because the Super Pops themselves were from an academy called Baywood. It seems to be that Majesty, as a character, tends to put these girls in boarding schools and also send them out their acceptance letters immediately to them, which again, just bizarreness of her character. In order to take them away from their families so that they don't have to fret about revealing the secret of who they are to them. Which, yeah, makes sense. Of course, she just springs that on them, which is the issue with Majesty. But again, I've got into that in the past. Hold on, let me rephrase myself. These original Jazz Pops designs, so why aren't they girls the redesigns we saw in Ballroom? What? What the? Huh? How are these the... Okay, all right, fine.
I'm confused.
Yeah, then, oh, right, so yeah, just converts, yeah, Disco Pops, okay. Both creators of Jazz Pops and Disco Pops called that out, fair enough. Also, Jonny has put in a request to talk about a certain shout-out when we get to it, so, all right. Go ahead. Once I see something that resembles a shout-out, I'll let you know, and then I will stop the video again. I realized there was a height adjustment in Gacha till late last year. So my god is a height 1. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh, hold on. I actually scrolled up. Okay. Hello there, and why Gacha black-skinned girls look better than most black cartoon character in today cartoons. Sorry if this sounds racist. It doesn't, because you're comparing Gacha as a medium versus other forms of animation. So, it's... I don't know if that's down necessarily to the way that the customization works for Gacha, or it's just
art
different...
style?
Yeah, I was going to say different art styles. I obviously don't really have an answer to that question, because every animation show is different, so who knows? As far as Gacha goes, from what I've seen from other designs, it's, they have the potential to be very impressive. Just change the eye shape and hair and then we're good. You know what I mean. Okay. I brought some cards so we can play some games. Oh my, do you have to pick an affinity in those card games? I wonder. Perfect. And me and Jessica brought some snacks. chocolate cupcakes we made ourselves, which I'm holding currently in my hand, and I just didn't bring in a plate or anything, I guess. They're in my pockets, I think, maybe.
They're smushed in the pocket, obviously.
Or just like underneath her skirt, she just waddles in like this, being like, okay, no one talk to me yet. I need to put the cupcakes down. Hold on a second. All right, fantastic. So the sleepover then. Okay. By the way, there's also a comparison for the designs in terms of these original designs versus the redone ones. Because yeah, these did eventually get redone later, because obviously these are not the same ones we see for the Disco Pops later. That being said, Amy has nice hair. There we go. All right. Disco, you know how much I like chocolate. So, shall we begin? Yes! 30 minutes later. Why do I feel like I'm watching an Emily video from 2020 now? Just with all the with all the time skips. Welcome to the show on Invisible TV. To all the Wipeout fans, if you want to see more Disco Pops, then do the following. 1. Smash that like button. 2. Subscribe to my channel. Let's go for 100 subscribers before we ring in 2021. I don't know what ring means in this context, but I'm going to say it anyway. And 3. Ring the bell. I get what it means here, to be notified when I release new episodes. At the end, hold on. Wait a minute. Sorry, I missed the last bit. At the end of the video, I will give 2 shoutouts to 2 channels that I am subscribed to. Now, on with the premiere of Disco Pops. I don't know why I made myself sound like Shino Shinobi from Legend of Korra, but there you go. I stand by the choice. Also, hold on. Jen likes chocolate. Jess is the one who likes chocolate more now. You know, maybe they've egged each other on. Again, in universe, friends will, take on each other's interest and occasionally hairstyles. So the shout out was for BFF Besties. I won their mermaid competition. Okay, I mean, I feel like you yourself explained that was going to happen later, but I guess the nature of however it shows up. Anyway. Ladies, I'm sorry to interrupt your sleepover. Only Amy looks like she's actually shocked, and that's because her mouth is open. All the other ones are like, this is a fine, how do you do? A teleporting lady. Oh dear. This is this is before Jess and Amy became adopted sisters, because they aren't calling each other sis here. I don't call my brother bro all the time. In fact, I very rarely do. We know the connection that we have as brothers, so it doesn't make sense to bring it up all the time. Just because they don't say it doesn't mean it's not true.
Also, just saying, as an introduction to Majesty, this is kind of weird, just having her pop in the room and be like, "I'm Majesty." She didn't even introduce herself. She's
actually,
like,
this is incredibly in character for Majesty. She just shows up, just like out of literally nowhere. Have you seen that clip of I said this around a while ago, but there's a clip of Chloe in the Origin episode where Majesty will just be like peering in through the window a couple of times. When Chloe points her out, she's disappeared. And then when she goes back to her house, Majesty is standing there in her bedroom and just starts going, "Hello there, Chloe. Let me tell you about your destiny." So yeah,
Jesus.
Majesty is incredibly creepy, and this is actually accurate.
I would throw things at Majesty. I'm not gonna lie. If Majesty just popped up and right in front of me, I would throw things. I would try to attack her. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be like, get away from me.
That is literally the first scene of Technopops. Yeah. Okay. Also, let's not talk about the Velma show. I didn't bring up the Velma show. I don't remember mentioning that at all. At least not this stream. I think I've talked about it on a one before now, but I don't think I've mentioned it here. Huh? Did I?
You know what? Let's just move on.
I don't know. I do eventually. I did eventually plan to make a video on the subject of Velma, but I haven't watched the show yet, so I can't really do that yet. And it's also got to, I would have aimed to take it in a different focus. So I will eventually talk about the Velma show, but not today because, oh wait, talking about Jakob. Oh wait, did Jakob say something? Sorry, I read that wrong. Oh yes, he did. The new Velma show makes me gag. I don't even watch this show. I only see small fragments and still made me gag.
Okay, who cares?
Good to know.
I mean,
What
it's
did
kind of
that? What did that have to do?
I'm very confused now. Oh, we have a new person. Hi.
Hello. Well, welcome to our confusion starburst. Hope you enjoy it. Anyway, it's okay. Wait, hold on. Amy knows who Majesty is. I didn't even read the dialogue yet. Amy recognizes her? What?
I guess this isn't their first interaction with Majesty, but still, it's kind of weird.
Oh, okay. Hold on. So this is not the origin. It's another cold opening of a pop show, which again is how a lot of them start because that origin episode you described happens in season 3. So yeah, I guess we're just they're already an established group. Okay. Anyways, Celeste picked up bungler activity in the city. Don't worry, Majesty. We'll stop them. I mean, give us a bit more of a coordinates than the city, because I imagine that's, to quote myself in a previous song, it's a rather big city, I imagine. I know you can. May destiny always be on your side. You girls ready? Yes.
Only one yes this time. We don't get everyone saying yes.
They don't have a choice.
Everyone has just the same expression. They'll just have...
Yeah. Disco Pops, let's get groovy. I like that activation phrase. It's better than Jazz Pops can't beat it. Here we go. Again, remember, this is accurate to how the Super Pops are represented.
I don't care. The Super Pops are ugly, and therefore these are ugly too. For starter,
I can't fault the show for that because again, it's accurate to what it's adapting.
No, you gotta be better than what you're adapting sometimes.
Okay, fine. Yes.
You gotta be better. Ugh. Okay.
It looks like a box of crap.
Yep. Okay, for starters, 3 of them have the same front hair. We just discussed this. The same front hair. Change the make everyone have unique looking hair. Everyone's wearing the same outfit except
Does that mean all the pop outfits are ugly? Yes, they are.
They're ugly.
They're in a league of their own, but underneath it. I mean, again, to bring up the this thing again. I'll never tire of using this. Look at these. Look at those. What is going on? I'm not even a fashion critic. Even I can tell that's an eyesore.
Okay, here's how you fix the design.
They look like they took like a wrapping paper that's like bright and just threw it around themselves.
No, I will be Emily 2.0 because these designs are trash. Back to this though.
BTS Back is that this. You?
But seriously though, like for starters, at least with like the Super Pops, their outfits have slight variations. Like some have sleeves, some have no sleeves, some are a crop top, some are just a shirt. This is no variation for starters.
Yeah, actually, no. I'll go back to here. Yeah, I've seen to varying degrees of success having different outfits because with the Jazz Pops. The Jazz Pops are kind of works against them in some cases, particularly with Earth Pop being so different in design to all of the others. I guess maybe if it was taken to a bit more of an extreme and there was levels of detail in these outfits that don't work on a totally TV style budget, maybe then it would work. But either
they need an accent color. You need to throw some whites, some black. I don't know, a gray maybe, a shade of gray throw into the outfit.
Not sure about that necessarily because again, look at this.
Yeah, okay, but those look terrible. Like those need like also like at the Super Pops, need like belts or something like that. Like maybe belts with different colors, and they need variation. Maybe
Yeah.
a logo. I don't know, something. Okay, like these designs are terrible.
Is this a gacha version of some cringe Disney show? No, it's a gacha version of some cringe totally TV show, YouTube original.
Yeah.
Which essentially is me saying Disney Channel without any of the budget because it's mostly in green screen. But that being said, it is actually good. I harp on it a lot, but you know, I do thoroughly enjoy it. Except season 3 is kind of dull.
And yes, I know they're early designs, but that doesn't make them any less bad.
Yeah, because again, the way that we do these reviews is that we try to look at them just as they are on their own, and then showcase the evolution later and talk about how it actually evolved. Because of course, it's unfair to it's you know, you could argue just maybe that it's unfair to criticize something that's old. But the thing is criticizing something that's old, it still exists in its same form. It's still spawned from somewhere, which means it's important to look at it, you know, in the exact same vein as you otherwise would. So, I mean, yeah, by all means, say that they eat sweet potatoes off the floor, whatever that means. Eventually, we'll get to the other designs, which we have seen later on and have caused less of a visceral reaction from Aiden. So let that speak in the way that, you know, interpret that however you want to. Also, by the way, says Starbucks says I make some gacha videos. Fair enough. I tell you what are your videos about? Because actually, if they're interesting, then you might be able to feature in a later episode of Gacha Review. Do you think this is better than Jazz Pop's first episode? I'll answer that question after we finish, I think. This is where Celeste picked up the bungo activity. Looks like it's coming from over there. Oh no, it's Siphony. Siphony, by the way, is an actual character from the Total TV series, so she's an actual established bungler. And quite a good one, might I add. Doesn't normally attack random civilians directly, but fair enough. Stop right there, Siphony. 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 Do I see all about your best friends who you love drawing? Perfect. That's the best way to start off in Gacha, I think. Trust me, I know, because I can't draw, and I started off in, and I didn't have that to fall back on. Who are you guys? We are the Disco Pops. I'm Groove Pop, Bounce Pop, Hustle Pop, Snap Pop, and I'm Pull Pop. This, I think, is a reference to, again, Totally TV, and how in the first episode with the transformation, they all said, you know, who they were to the camera, and then it did that a couple of times, and they eventually stopped because they realized it was pointless.
They all became Benton aliens. Obviously, they must say their name.
Yeah, pretty much. Except for, of course, it was Alien Force and onwards aliens, because in the first one, they're not going to be like, Crystal Pop, oh man, I want it to be Power Pop or something. That would be kind of weird. But yes, essentially the same idea. So I'm loving all the Tony TV like references here. This is actually surprisingly very accurately adapted, for better or worse, as Aiden has demonstrated. They did the same thing as how the Jasper's didn't attack Rijo on the first episode, let him get away. Well, I mean, thank you for spoiling the fact they don't attack, because we only just got to the first fight scene, so alright then. It's a new Pop Squad, because believe me, I've dealt with worse. There's that Siphony sass we all know. This isn't the last you'll see of it. What do you mean this isn't the last you'll see? What are you where are they just got here. You like, well, believe me, I've dealt with worse. Bye.
I think she's just gonna leave. I don't even think there's gonna be a fight scene. It's just gonna be, oh darn it, you made it to me. I guess my evil plans are foiled. What are your evil plans, anyways? Like, what are you trying to?
I mean, Siphony can get bored very easily in a situation, but never once have I seen her bail in the middle of an attack, especially because she's so driven to defeat the Pops that exist. But there you go, off she goes. Nice teleportation, granted, but very premature. Pull, how did you know that was Siphony? I've watched the other Super Pop series on Totally TV. Yeah, of course. I was about to make that exact same joke, but yeah. For real, you came out of nowhere. Be like, bye. Exactly. Bye. I wish I could review most popular girls in school on this channel, but there is no way I'm making anything kid-friendly out of that.
Aww.
The good news is she's gone. The bad news is it's only the beginning. Thank you, Wipeout fans, for watching. Before I sign off, I have 2 shoutouts to give out, as hinted by my invisible TV. First, we'll give a shout out to Flowerpot for the 1300. Naturally. Her series, The Jazz Pops, inspired me to make this series, which we did see because there's a common episode 4 that's all about that, and then they joined forces in one cinematic universe. If you want to check out her series, the link to it will be in the description. My other shout out is to everyone at Totally TV, but mostly to BFF Besties, who I guess
I don't know who that is, but okay. Well, shout out to BFF
remember
Besties.
he said that before, and that they were. It said that he won their mermaid competition or something.
Cool.
So yeah, but So, but I'm more confused by the name because it implies that their name is Best Friends Forever Besties, which is a terrible what? Why? I mean, you already get the whole the besties implication from BFF and vice versa. You don't need both. Anyway, the biggest problem with the gacha is the gacha videos are too short. I don't mind that necessarily because in the case of Jonny, it actually works to his advantage because then he actually produces more content faster.
Okay, yeah, but like, what are you saying with each video is my problem. Like, I don't mind shorter videos, but as long as the videos are actually saying something. But
yeah, the content itself, the duration is fine, but the content itself needs something else. You know,
like this episode, what did it say about our characters? It gave us like minor character traits, I guess. A very brief introduction to Majesty. We got to see them very briefly as Super Pops, and we got a very brief introduction of the villain. But that's saying it's like introduction. We didn't
not
really
to mention,
learn
of
anything
course,
too in
the
depth.
most. Of course, we're forgetting the most important piece of information that we got from this episode: that Jen loves chocolate, and so does Amy, as it's said in the chat. So there you go. Or Jess does. Okay, but yeah, you're right that in both of these cases, there's like a good episode 1 has always got to establish everything, but also make us care at the same time. So getting the information out is fine, but also introduce like the format of it, because with Super Pops they do that immediately. We get to see them take down Miss Fortune towards the end, so we know there's going to be a bungler that shows up every now and then. We have Disruptor and his plan that eventually goes forward a bit later. We see we see Dr. Kittens as well as the leader that we think that he is until Shadow King comes in later. Also Majesty. We also get a new Pop who actually has to learn all of this, therefore an inbuilt excuse as to why we, the audience, being explained everything at the same time. So yeah, hold on. BFF Besties is the Actors for Cosmic and Prospero's channel. Oh, I see. Okay, it's still a terrible name, but fair enough. BFF Besties got too confused to watch too many different universes crossing over to count. Yeah, I've been trying to figure out the order to watch the actual Pop series for a while because I just go by like the upload dates, because there are a bunch of spin-offs, but they're not ordered in any sort of succinct manner whatsoever. So yeah. Okay, now we get to talk about the ending. Well, maybe actually. Hold on a second. Is there anything else in here? Because there's a bit of duration left. If you haven't heard already, I won the guess how many times they say mermaid challenge. How do you? But it's a video. You don't need to guess. You just count. Okay, fine. I've also had the Super Pop series and on YouTube and even on I've even put My Oh My on my JD 2021 list. I don't know what that's all about, but fair enough. That's all for now. Wipeout fans, goodbye and big balls.
What?
So there's that. Okay, now we get to the end of the episode. So, in terms of this versus the Jazz Pops intro, yeah, it's interesting because as much as I like the homages to Totally TV and how much was taken from the source material, that there was more to delve into that just wasn't here, as we explained already, based on how the format goes, like how the show is going to be structured from this point onwards, or really, I guess we do get to see a bit to see that the conflict will still be about the bungalow. So from a fan series perspective, it works. Jazz Pop stands a little bit more on its own. It still has Majesty appearing out of nowhere. It still has them in their school uniforms or whatever, their Girl Scout format. And but even then, at least in that situation, Earth Pop actually fires a blast. And Rigel there at least explains as well that there are other plans that are in motion. And it just happened to be that he showed up there at that point and that they weren't ready to attack. And in Jazz Pops, there is a sense all the way through the series, there's like an impending plan, and that everything they've done so far is just to distract. So it makes sense that there isn't as much action. It's less cool, you know, but I would love to see some more, but it makes sense as to why they've been acting this way. In this case, you've taken an actual Totally TV character who is established to work in a certain way and then decided that she's just going to bail for no reason. So yeah, it feels like an imitation of both Totally TV and the Jazz Pops in this sense, but without understanding what made either of those things work. So I will say I do prefer Jazz Pops, the first episode, by a slim margin for those reasons.
I just feel like if I was watching this just casually on YouTube, you know, I wouldn't continue watching, you know, because there's nothing to hook me.
There is also that, yeah. At the very least, with Jazz Pops, there's a cliffhanger involved there. With this, it's like, okay, we're in the middle of like an impending struggle, but what else is there to do? So, yeah, I get that too. Also, Firepot is saying welcome back to Starburst after Starburst said BRB and didn't say anything about returning, so I don't know about that. But in case you do return, Starburst, you are cool as well, it seems. And we've also got more. Episode 1 might have been a rocky start, but since we are here to analyze and we are here to continue, let's continue.
Yes.
Also, I do love the idea of being Flower Pop. That makes too much sense, actually. Should have gone with that. By the way, Gacha reaction video where characters should react, and yet in the most of the videos they say something 2 times and their own expression change. I like to watch their thoughts or something. Yeah, I've had people make like Gacha tubers, Gacha characters react to some of my Gacha videos, so I've been subjected to that myself. But you are right, it does seem like once you're doing like once you have reactions that are scripted, it sort of ruins it. At one point, I was going to do like a voice acted version of that over on the Butter Bunch, actually, where I guess because obviously you know this, Yakov, that I adore the Ginyu Force. I was going to be like, oh, the Ginyu Force react to this and stuff and such. And then I realized that trying to do that in that format and then have a different reactions as all the Ginyu Force, I'm not ready to do that just yet. We'll see later. But it does need something. It does need like their characters' unique personalities rather than just them being physically there and not doing anything. Because if I think that's even lazier than just turning the camera onto yourself and just going for the entire time, which what a lot of actions used to be back in the day. That's also why I like to pause so much. I used to hate like trying to brand myself as doing reactions because of the stigma around them and how people just expect you to watch the full video and then just be like, okay, well, here are my 2 brief thoughts, and then that's it. That's why I like the way that Kaki Films does it, and that's why I kind of modeled these streams off of that, because he actually pauses all the time and gives his reactions. Granted, I record at like 10 at night for me, so I don't yell as much as him, but still. Oh, wait, you could be the Fabpop's the character in the K-Pops. Oh, I see. Well then. That's disappointing, I guess. Imagine, yeah, Dragon Ball characters reacting to some Masako what ifs. Okay, yeah, I could definitely do that. I don't know, yeah, but would be interesting. The thing is with Masako what ifs that Masako has a more in-depth understanding than I probably ever will of the Dragon Ball franchise. So I wouldn't. So if there's a character who's like, you know, if like the Ginyu Force is like, I don't react like that. What are they talking about? Rikun finds that perfectly accurate. Like, I can't pull that off in the same way because chances are, you know, they'll both be wrong or something like that. I don't know. But something else, some of like Dragon Ball parodies and stuff I could always do. DBZA is obviously the go-to option there. But then again, that's where a lot of my portrayal of the Ginyu Force also comes from. So yeah, I have to think about that a bit more. You know, I'll keep you posted. Anyways, episode 2. Hey guys, before we start, I'd like to thank Glenn, aka WWE Kane, for the episode suggestion. If you have one for me, leave in the comments below. This is also the advantage of producing short episodes and having them come out relatively quickly. Because that way you can, if you want to embrace the fan feedback, then you can. I do miss that. Now on with the show. Okay, they were there for a split second and they teleported different positions. Sure. Why not? I mean, they're all once again standing in the same kind of bus queue as before with the same default pose. But, importantly, Kim and Courtney have swapped positions. Boom, variety. Are you guys ready for a WWE match? Yes, I can't wait to see John Cena take on Seth Rollins. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. I actually downloaded a thing specifically for this episode because I was going to record this yesterday. But I forgot. Yeah, I brought this in because I'm pretty sure it said in the description there was stuff about John Cena, so I was prepared in advance. Oh, it's loading. Okay, never mind. What channel is that? I mean, what is this channel? This channel is Wipeout Arena Fan 14, which is, there you go, the person who just came back in the chat right now. There you go. This is the creator of this video. I frequently review stuff to people's faces, and, you know, to their credit, they do ask sometimes. Occasionally. You can imagine Vegeta being livid in what Raditz was sent to Earth. Raditz here is married to Bulma up as a gladiator for the whole universe. Yeah. My Vegeta impression isn't that good, but fair enough. Yeah, that is a good option in general. In fact, I imagine that, you know, Prince Vegeta, you know, the YouTuber Prince Vegeta, would find a lot to say during that. Okay, but yes, carrying on. I can't wait to see John Cena take on Seth Rollins. It's processing. The video's not loaded yet, so we're carrying on. Let's get going. We don't want to be late. 20 minutes later. This must be where the wrestling match will happen. In the middle of an open field. What WWE match has ever taken place outside? Like, I mean, my brother used to like show me a couple of WWE matches that he used to watch. I don't recall this being a thing. Is this a thing?
I don't
doubt
think so.
Yeah. Also,
I
this is clearly a football field, so or soccer field, whatever.
Soccer. Yeah. How dare you get your British little grubby British fingers on language? How dare you? I'm offended.
The language that, you know, we gave you. Anyway, sure, whatever. It failed to upload the clip. I was basically going to play like the meme of John Cena every time he got mentioned in the video. That was going to be the joke, but it didn't work.
Oh, I see you, Starburst. You love voice acting. Well, me and Jacob have voice acted series on our channel.
You might enjoy those a bit more than what we're watching today.
Yeah, no, yeah. they're good. We write.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just go to the Mutant Girl playlist, check out season 1, and yeah, the Mutant Girl.
Okay, Right. So also, you guys here met Anna, who was originally Jessica's big sister, and then who was also originally just a friend here. Okay,
Wait,
what?
Flowerpot, you're working on
Hold on,
a
we'll
voice
get to that in a
actor
second. We'll get to
series?
that in a second. We'll get to that in a second, Aiden. Yeah, so you're saying that the dynamics of these people, like, they changed halfway through? Yeah, did you pull a Simpsons on us and just like change your idea for people's interactions in the middle of the show? Not sure how to work on that. Let's think about it. You're working on a voice acted series. Okay, now we can address this. I'm
That is
sorry.
cool.
You're working on a voice acted series and didn't let us audition for it? How what? Are we
How
even
dare
friends?
you?
Come on.
We could have voice acted in it. How dare you? I'm offended. I'm triggered, man.
Absolutely. That is like, that's like kind of our thing. Yeah, for next episode, because you seem to be finishing episode 1, as you said. Yeah, let us know next time. I mean, actually, to be fair, do I have you even on Discord? I'm not sure. We tend to talk about this stuff on Discord usually. I have Jonny, but if I like anyway. Selling what if geared up with Goku was one of the best versions as an antagonist. Yeah, again, wouldn't really be able to react to that, but you get the point. Anna is based off an Anna I met at camp. I do love the way that you guys would just introduce people into your shows like this. I feel like I used to do that back in the day with season 1 of Mutant Girl, but not the actual people. I used to include aspects of the voice actors into the characters, like stuff that was potentially making fun of them for addressing back in the day. Only to have those same voice actors leave and then have the people that recite the lines not know the context, and it completely ruins. But there you go. You called for auditions before you. Okay, fine, all right, okay. But if you need more characters, here we are. It keeps getting confusing. Well, it does if you change the story halfway through, then absolutely. When I said evolution, I didn't mean that kind of evolution. I meant more Darwin rather than Lamarck. Anyway. Hey, guys. Hi, Anna. Are you here for the WWE match? No, we're here to submit our thesis. Why else would we be in the WWE venue? We are. I can't wait to see John Cena. Joke is ruined. Anyway. We better get going. The show is about to start. Oh, wait, no. Hold a second. It's not ruined. Wait a minute. There we go.
His name is John Cena!
You're gonna get copyright claim for that.
I'm doing less than 7 seconds.
You copyright
that joke.
evil.
I did make that joke before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, look, if I get copyrighted for it, I'll just take out the small clips involved in there, and then it'll be fine. I can, just edit the stream in post. That's fine. This looks like Harry Potter. Yeah. Again, I made that same joke at the beginning just before you showed up.
Welcome to Hogwarts.
All right. We better get going. The show is about to start. Okay, let's go. Meanwhile, the bungalow there. How am I going to beat those disco pops? I know, by not running away the second you see them. That probably will help.
By actually trying to fight them? Jeez, it's not hard. It's like actually trying.
I know, I'll take something they really like. Like John Cena. I'll take John Cena. I will kidnap and hypnotize John Cena. So they're going to a WWE show. We'll see about that. I'll take their tickets, then they can't get in the venue. To be continued.
That's it?
Not quite. There's a part 2.
Does part 2 count, or does that count as episode 3?
Well, it's labeled as part 2, so that's why I'm gonna classify it as. And yes, Harry Potter good, actually. Yes, 100%. You are talking to a lifelong Potterhead, so yes, indeed. Also, I'm a what? Okay. Yeah, like Aiden said, they're really short. Yeah, but this again, if you made an extended version with these two put together as a separate video, that'd be fine. Yeah. Here we go. This is part 2 of the Discourse episode 2, suggested by Glenn, aka WWE Kane. Indeed, it is. If you have any ideas for future episodes, leave it in the comments, or leave them in the comments rather. Is that offer still in play, by the way? Because eventually, when I catch up, I will start pitching ideas. I also want to wish everyone a happy new year. Now on to the show. So the
Now we're
WWE
in the
match is now
gym.
taking place inside of the school gym, corresponding to the school field, on a stage. Have you ever been to a WWE match? Because normally the audience are the ones who are elevated, and there's a whole, like, caged area or something, so you can't potentially throw someone off the stage by accident.
Also, I got a question. Why are they calling it WWE? Don't they just mean wrestling? Because wrestling is actual sport in the school.
Well, yes, in the school itself, but remember, we've mentioned John Cena a bunch of times, so it is very specifically WWE. Yeah. Okay. Episode 3 happens almost a day to Jazz Pops. Yeah, I'm watching the timeline now. I was going to watch the finale of Jazz Pops season 1 for the next stream, but I then realized, oh, hang on a second, Disco Pops intertwines. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. The new sports games I go to is baseball. Okay, well, if for future reference, they don't take place outside, they don't take place in school gyms. There you go.
Well, to be fair,
Also, yeah,
wrestling does,
wrestling's
like,
fake.
actual...
You know what, Jakob? Suck diddly yuck.
To be fair, actual wrestling happens in the gym normally. Although normally there's like this like at my previous school there was a back room where they did the wrestling. They had like a wrestling mat and stuff like that. So
Did they use a stage?
They didn't use a stage. No.
I thought not.
Although granted, we had a separate auditorium for the stage and theater and stuff like that. So
yeah.
To be
What's
fair.
taking so long for Jessica and Amy? They were
They're
right
probably
with us
dead.
before. Yeah. They're probably getting every snack from the concessions. Oh, they're pulling a Betty from Falcon Claw. Okay. You know what? They want to try. Let's try all the snacks and see which ones are the best. They're just sampling the bar like hors d'oeuvres or something. It's like the fanciest wrestling match ever. I think the better question is, what's taking the match so long to start? It's been 20 minutes since the start time and they haven't shown up. I'm sorry, girls, the match has been cancelled. Oh, yeah, that's right, because Siphoning, yeah.
Yeah.
No, why is that? Also, I love how she's only addressing these 4 members, implying that there are no other people in the audience. Normally, the inbuilt excuse is, of course, Gacha has limited slots, so if there's other people, it's implied there's more of an audience. But in this instance, the referees are putting specifically only these people, meaning that they are the only ones in universe who are here at the moment. This is probably the lowest selling John Cena match that has ever existed. I'm pretty sure that John Cena can, read the first chapter of the first chapter of The Great Gatsby, and you still get a sold out crowd. But anyway. The girls dressed like they're going on some funeral. Some school uniforms look like that, so that's just how it goes sometimes. Seems one of the wrestlers disappeared. You can say their name, they're both famous. Don't worry, we have refunds available for your tickets. Hold on, did I make another prediction? Did I predict that Cypher was going to kidnap John Cena? Really? Also, hold on. You don't have Stephano's or John Cena doing a copyright. Copyright of what? Their faces? Their actual names? You can't copyright someone's birth name. That makes no sense. John Cena, Disco Pops, and Anna only. Okay.
Wait, you do realize that you literally use the character of Majesty, who's literally owned by someone else. So
I was going to say, fictional characters can be copyrighted. Real people, no. That's not... WWE does not own the copyright to John Cena. What they can do, I guess, I would say, is that they can, I guess, limit his appearance and other stuff if he has contracts with them. That's the appearance of the guy himself. Unless you hire John Cena to voice himself in this Gacha video, I think you're going to be fine. I mean, John Cena was in Fred 1 through 3 for crying out loud. I'm pretty sure he's able to appear in other stuff.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, thanks. Meanwhile, at the snack shop.
They just went to
Oh
a
wow,
store.
that looks so familiar.
How are the? I didn't know you were here. We would just Photoshop. Oh god, darn it! If we weren't live, we could Photoshop Harvey in here.
Part of my business is just having these having the WWE people. That's like peak time for this shop. But right next to the venue, which of course is a school. Okay, I chose my top snack and drink chocolate iced donut with chocolate milk. Let it be known once again that both Jess and Jen love chocolate. And I chose chocolate bar and strawberry milkshake. Let's go to our friends. We probably missed the first round. And no, you're not a terrible Gacha creator. We're all aware this is old work. It's just funny.
Yeah, it's fine, you know.
Hey guys.
And we're in a school again.
Okay, wait a second. Hold on. Is this meant to be their school? And it just so happens that John Cena and Seth Rollins had a deal with a school. I don't think an entire year's worth of a school's budget could ever hire those two. Just saying. Jessica says, "Don't be sad, Johnny. I got chocolate." Because that's right. Jessica's in this episode, yes.
Wait, I just realized something as well. They left and we never saw them check out.
We never saw them try the other snacks, but I'm gonna assume they paid at some other point, or I guess the store clerk returned from their lunch break or something.
No, it's funnier to imagine that they just randomly stole some snacks after sampling half of them.
Yeah, they sampled half the snacks that weren't meant to be sampled because it's like an actual grocery store. So just opened up the wrappers, was like, this is a good snack. Okay, back on the shelf. Oh my word. Maybe they should get some soup at that store. Wrong store, but nice reference. Did the first round end yet? No, they cancelled because one of the wrestlers disappeared. They already paid for them. Okay. They were just there chilling in the store. Okay, fine. Got it.
Yeah, but it's funnier to imagine they stole the snack and destroyed some other random merchandise trying to quote unquote sample it. It's funnier imagining that.
Oh my word. Okay. What? The rest of us are gone? It's true. Let's spin up and look for clues.
In the school.
It's the last known place of the wrestler, according to the referee who I interviewed off screen, I guess. It's not paused. There we go. Oh, Majesty. Ladies, Celeste picked up on the location of the wrestler. It appears Siphonie has kidnapped him. Where did she took him? I don't know, to get to a grammar lesson. It appears to be in the bungler lair. Surely you would know by now if it was the bungler lair or not. And not only that, but she also teamed up with Catastrophe.
Also, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. They know where the bungler lair is, and they haven't took down the bunglers?
That's an issue in Tony TV as well. They constantly invade the bungler's lair all the time, and they just leave them there. Except for the one time when they do actually, it does actually blow up by the bunglers. But then they just move to different locations. So, they just need a place to stay in general.
Okay.
To be fair, it's actually better for them to always know where the bunglers are going to go back to, just in case they have to come and find their location again. They just move constantly otherwise.
No, I think them knowing the bungler's lair is a bad idea, and it's a stupid plot point. I mean, even Miraculous, it's not like they know where Hawkmoth's lair is.
No, that's true.
I'm giving Miraculous credit. Ugh, I feel dirty now.
Well, I mean, also, okay. On the flip side, Hawkmoth can observe any part of the city and never thinks to follow Ladybug and Cat Noir back to wherever they become.
Yeah, he actually did try doing that for episode with these little spy bugs.
Oh,
yeah, he failed.
Okay, I see. Fair enough then.
He made an attempt. He
All right.
failed, but he at least made an attempt.
Speaking of miraculous, it is later established that two of these characters are actually the daughters of Nino and Alia. Was that since you've changed the story and these two aren't even sisters yet, was that even like a concept for a bit, or was it later revealed that they just happen to be related? That's my question right now. And also, Jessica, I feel like if you give Jonny some of that chocolate that you stole from the store, he'll be fine. We gotta stop them and save the wrestler. A was an only child at the time. Okay, but was she already... Okay, so Flowerbot says it was later revealed. So I'm going to say for now that yes, indeed, the idea of at least one of them being related to a superhero from another franchise was established. Okay. Celeste will teleport you to the lair now. May destiny always be on your side.
And you're just going to teleport in public where potential security cameras exist?
We've already established that there's no one else that's in here right now in this whole school. They just closed the entire thing down for an exclusive 6-person WWE match.
No, listen. But like security cameras, if people replay that. And also, unless we're in like Phoenix Drop High, unless we're in Phoenix Drop High,
Where there are no cameras, that's established because
because dumb. Because something budget. Like what? Why would you get rid of security cameras?
That werewolf insurance was not cheap, I guess. Even though they must have already had to have had it by the time that Principal Lena took over, because they already had werewolf students in the school. But anyway. Disco Pops, let's get groovy. That's the bungalow lair, now spelled bungalow.
Ha!
Oh, right now. That is
guy.
Well, that is the YouTuber who suggested this episode idea. So I guess if you suggest an episode, you get to feature in the project itself. Which, to be fair, I was there during the stream and did establish a few concepts for ballroom pops, and then I end up becoming a judge in the first episode. So I guess that does make sense. So yeah, Aiden, if you want to show up in Disco Pops at any point, just start spouting ideas. Anyway, I have a match to get to. Not a chance. You're going to be a bungler, or we are going to make sure you never wrestle again. Never. Siphony and Catastrophe, let WWE Kane go right now. We already said it was John Cena versus Seth Rollins, but we're going to pretend that he was involved in this somehow, because that was a thing now, I guess, maybe. Also, we need more Catgirls, I guess. I mean, Siphony has a clone that becomes a bunny character later, so I guess that's an option.
I mean, maybe Kawaii-chan could be introduced here.
Maybe. Kawaii-chan would fit in this universe, to be fair. Siphony, who are these girls? It's those disco brats I told you about. I wouldn't use those powers if I were you.
Why?
Or I'll leave again, I guess. I'll leave my own house before confrontation arises. Try and hit us and you might hurt the rest of Try and hit us and we might hit the person who is standing behind us that we're currently shielding.
Yeah.
Sure, that's how that works. We'll see about that. I don't know if I've met Catastrophe or not. The name sounds vaguely familiar. It's been a while, but I don't think I have. Then again, I've got to the point where Siphony then ends up being locked away by Hopsy, so that wasn't done by this point. I'm not sure. No, what? We'll come back, Pops. What do you mean? This is your house. You live here. Where are you going? Maybe they went back to Siphony's like other place because Dr. Ruin does call her in episode to then join the bungalow. So I guess she lived somewhere else before. Maybe they're going there. I don't know. Or maybe they went off to Paris. Something.
I feel like the fight scenes need work on here. Like she just kind of like threw an orb, and then they kind of just like glowed or something,
Yeah.
and then we're like, bye. It's just like, what?
They just got here. Okay, we are still improving though, because at least they did all fire a blast this time.
At least there was a fight. There was somewhat of a fight. There was something. Listen,
Yeah.
before she just kind of left as soon as they appeared, we're like, oh well, you're here now. I gotta go. Bye. It's like,
Also, from what I remember as well, wasn't it specifically Cosmic Pop that was able to put some bubbles like that? Is that just a thing that they can all do now because that does engulf them all in energy? I don't know. That's a deep
and also
source material question.
Rena fan, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, honestly, we've gone back to look at our own work and talked about how much of a complete mess that was. So we understand the struggle. We're just making an entertaining show out of it at the same time. All right, Kenny, you okay? Yeah, thanks for saying me, Disco Pops. You're welcome. And now I've returned to the end of the line, and now I'm back again. Snap Pop is teleporting around a lot. You're right. Celeste, can you teleport us to the arena? Teleporting you to the arena now. Oh, and we don't get to see the match. Dang it. I was looking forward to seeing John Cena appear again. Come on. So all of that build up. Thanks for watching my first video for 2021. Okay, so all the stuff I mentioned before, Hops, that did happen at this point, because I'm still on 2020. And thanks again to Glenn for the idea for the episode. Not gonna lie, when we didn't have Gacha Club back in our day, this is 2021. Gacha Club had been out for half a year by this point. Also, if you're saying your Gacha character is terrible, I guess if I can find your channel based on the fact that you have a cupcake and username that's not is impossible to type, if I can search up your channel later, then I might take a look and see if your stuff is gonna make the review list. Because why not? If any future episodes, leave in the comments. Yep, smash that like button, join the fans. Good night and big balls, which is still the most bizarre outro ever. Okay, so episode 2. Admittedly, episode 2 is far better than the first one because in this one we do have a new premise, an inciting incident, and I guess more time was dedicated to it in 2 parts because it was a whole suggestion and there were certain points to hit. I would say that at least for fan suggestion, it definitely is good to then like outline either the fan themselves says so or you later on take the idea and then use that to guide you forward, and that does definitely help. That might be what was missing the first time, because it's because then actually just not just a case of, oh, let's just do the Jazz Pops intro style thing, only slightly worse, but also more accurate to the source material. But yeah, in this case, again, we had an actual combat. We had the Super Pops actually, the Disco Pops actually saving somebody. Wasn't the person who was billed before, but there you go. I'm frozen again. Aiden, am I still here? Am I still here? Because I'm frozen again on my end.
Your face is frozen, but I can hear you.
Oh, brilliant. Perfect. Okay. Also, Josh is asking, what's the better episode, Disco Pops or Jazz Pops? I forgot what episode 2 of Jazz Pops was like, so actually I can't really say for certain this time. But again, because it was a fan request, it's diverging paths now, so they have hard to identify strengths and weaknesses in comparison to each other. So yeah, again, if I known I was going to be comparing every episode to each other, then I would have definitely said I would have definitely watched them side by side. Also, yeah, I guess more songs in general, that is always good to have as a benefit, absolutely. But yeah, apparently also the big balls thing was reference to how the original version of Wipeout ends. Oh, okay, yeah. Also Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z. Oh, introducing Karina, Vila, and Papis. Actually, I do prefer that because I love their dynamic. That's the thing as well. Yeah, you've got the character relationships down a lot more than Jonny did at this stage. Apart from, I guess, that a few of them like chocolate. I think Jonny was still figuring this stuff out because, again, 2 of them became sisters later. So that shows you that not everything was worked out from the get-go, at least in terms of those characters. So I think, yeah, episode 2 of Jazzbox comes out on top there as well, so far. So, yeah. What else? I was going to also say, we got a question. Am I going to finish Jazzbox Season 1 next? Get another song in the finale. Well, I'm excited to try that one, but since Starburst just showed up here, maybe I'll take a look at some Starburst videos to vary it up for a bit, and then we'll see next time. That might be for a while though, because in a couple of days, because as Jonny just mentioned, having in a community tab, apparently daily lives mean less views, according to this is analytics or something. So I guess I'll be doing at least every 2 days. Give myself a bit more of a break sometimes with no 5 years later to do. Which also means I have to replace that with something else. So I guess there'll be more premieres involved, since I don't want to have this. I don't have time to edit a video every day like I used to. So I think that'll be it. So I guess in a couple of days I'll look at either Starburst or Season 1 finale. So yeah, you go ahead and call Madeline and all reunite the old and new faces and do whatever you need to do. And I hope everyone else has enjoyed. Once again, the show definitely, gets better. I've watched snippets and become confused about the stuff later, but that's to get another context. But yeah, it definitely seems more put together from what I've seen later on. I just look forward to getting to the actual position. But as far as the pop stuff goes, the next pops thing I'll watch is Jazz Pops in general. So either in 2 or 4 days, I will be watching that. If your school starts next week, okay, fine. If your school starts next week, I'll do Season 1 now, and then I'll put Starbursts, in 4 days' time. So there you go. Subscribe for that, I suppose. And also, please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters. And also subscribe to Aiden. Just look up the name Aiden the Best there and do that. And check out the original series, which I believe is in the description. And yes, au revoir. We'll get to the French part later. Okay. So that is that. I'm going to go now because my dad's got an early day, so we've got to actually sleep. So I won't be making too much noise. So there we go. On that note, until next time,
Farewell.